Hi, I'm Jen.
I'm John.
And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the shovel concept, okay? And this is an important concept, all right? So last time I told you guys when John demonstrated how to do the deadlift, okay, there are some key points and key elements, okay? So I told you to pay attention to that because today some of those concepts are going to start applying, okay, to the shovel concept. All right, so this is a weighted bar, okay? This is, I think, like 15 pounds or something, right? So it's pretty heavy, all right? Now, if John holds it like this, right? Okay, so let's say there's weight here, right? Okay. Now, it's just like he's using a shovel, right? He's shoveling something, right? Now from here, if he uses the front hand to do the work and lift, keep going, okay? And then back down and then shovel, right? He keeps using the front hand to do the work, okay? His shoulder and bicep, eventually he's going to get tired really quick, okay? So this is how a lot of you guys are doing your Wing Chun, okay? So what do I mean? When you guys are doing your Wing Chun, okay, when you're doing your stance, okay, you break your structure, you break your pelvic tilt, and you start leaning in and you start getting front heavy. See that? Okay? So I'm doing my punches like this. Okay? So now I'm using the front part of my hand to do all the work. Okay? And that's how come your shoulders start to burn. Alright? So how do we fix this? Okay, John's going to show you. So from here, go ahead, get your grip. So John's going to do, he's going to just keep his arm, this front hand, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to hold it there. But what he's going to use is his backhand, right, the rear hand, and that rear hip, and he's going to drive it down, okay, to lift. Go ahead, lift and lift. See that? Okay, don't exaggerate too much. Yeah, so now all the way down. Yeah, see that? Now he's using the back end, and he's using his hip. That means he's using his structure, all the way down, to hold that weight. Okay? Now this is correct. He can do this for a long, he can hold this for a long time, okay? He tries to use the front end, it's not going to work, okay? So that's what I call the shovel concept, okay? It's also good because when you do this, your center of gravity gets low, And if you look, last time we did the deadlift, right? Okay? So when you're coming up, okay, your hips, your pelvis, we drive the legs up and we drive the pelvis forward. This part coming up, okay? And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're coming up and using the hip to do the heavy work and the lifting, okay? When there's pressure in the front, okay? So how does that apply to what we're going to do, okay? Or how do you practice, okay? So a good way is when you punch, okay, or when you're practicing, okay, I know a lot of you guys, first you get into the stance, but what happens is you see a focus mitt and you go, okay, so, right? And then you start punching it, right? And then you want to hit it harder, so you start nailing the thing, right? Okay? But then what happens is you forget about your hips and they start to bend. You lose your pelvic tilt, right? So now you're like this. Okay, and what's happening? I'm too top heavy, so my hand now has to do all the heavy work. Okay, so it's just like lifting the shovel with the front end. So I'm doing this. Okay, but eventually your shoulders burn and your hand, and you're going, wow, this, and the punch is very weak, and you don't know why. And the reason is you're not doing the deadlift. This part, you have to jack it up and use your hips. Okay. So you have to have this part. So I'm lifting from low to high. I'm punching low to high, right? Okay? This is the same thing as if one foot's in front, okay? One foot's in front, right? You start punching and I start doing this. I'm leaning in, right? I'm bent. This is no good, right? This is no good. So I have to deadlift. I have to stay back, rely on my structure in my hips. So when I'm punching, right, okay, I still have my structure here, right? Okay? I never sacrifice the body. to do the work of the hand, okay? So, when you practice, okay, an easy way to practice this is when you're here, get into a stance, practice this deadlift and the shovel, right? Right? Shovel. Then stay low, okay? And your shoulders square, just like you're deadlifting, right? Okay? And punch. Your opponent, okay, he holds a focus mitt. Don't hit this hard. All I want to do is to focus on keeping my structure while I punch. Okay? Staying low. Having the body do everything, right? So that now, what's pushing my hand out is my hip. It's supporting the weight of my hand. See this? So I'm just using the target, the focus mitt, as just for me to figure out distance. Okay? So I can get full extension. Okay? Without having to turn my shoulder. So stay square. Okay? Reach all the way out. Okay? Just like this. And then when you switch your feet, okay, see it? I switch my feet, but I stay low. I don't bounce. I keep my center low, and I keep going. All right, switch. All right. Switch your feet back and forth. Again, I'm not worried about how hard I'm hitting the pad. As long as I get full extension and I maintain my structure. All right? Okay? Now, the last thing is, people go, well, where do I put my weight? Do I put it on my toes? Do I put it on my middle of my feet? Do I put it on my heels? Okay? It's the same thing. When you squat, okay, or you're trying to lift or deadlift, if you try to deadlift any weight and you put it on your toes and then try to lift, right, there's no way you're going to be able to lift a lot of weight. Okay? Right? So this is already putting a lot of stress on my knees, on my joints. This is not good. I can't get underneath my body. So we focus on the heels, right? To drive from the heels, drive the hip forward, right? That way you can lift the heavy weight, okay? This is the same reason why we don't do this, right? In Chinese boxing, we don't lift the toe, the heel off the ground. This is a boxer's stance, right? Because if I'm here, and I punch, but the pressure coming at me is stronger than the pressure that I can generate going forward, right? If John pushes into me, I have to eat that pressure. I can't hold it. It's like trying to deadlift like this. I can only do so much before my body is going to collapse. It's when he pressures me. See, push, push, push. See, I can't hold it anymore. I have to eat that pressure. This is no good. If my heel's on the ground, okay, and John pushes, I can fight with my hip. See, I'm deadlifting him. See? He can push, 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 but I'm not going anywhere because I'm already down. I'm already on the ground. So the energy just keeps going back at him. Okay? So keep the weight on your heels. Okay? Now, they say, okay, well, where do I shift my weight? Where do I put my weight? I know a lot of you guys are taught to put 100% weight on the back leg. No weight on the front leg, right? And then punch, right? I'm not saying that's wrong, okay? It's just not how I was taught, okay? And the reason is, if you put 100% weight on the back leg, okay, that means you cannot take any more pressure, okay? So if I'm 100% on the back leg, and he gives me any more pressure, I can't hold any more pressure. I'm already 100%, right? So what Hawkins does is he teaches us to put 40% on the front of your weight and 60% on the back, okay? That way, why do we do that? That way, if I put 40-60 and John gives me pressure, I can receive his pressure so that I can get to 100. So now, once I receive his pressure, I have time to get to 100. Then I can give it back to him. Okay? If you're already 100, you have no time. As soon as he gives you pressure, you're done. All right? So we go 40-60. Okay? Now, the last thing is just practice with a partner, with a focus mitt. Again, you're not worried about how hard you can hit this thing. Okay? It's just a way to gauge your distance, okay? What you're really working on is, it's been a year now, and all I've been talking about is structure, structure. You want to focus on your structure, right, without compromising your structure while you're punching, okay? So just practice like this, okay? I've got my structure, okay? I'm using the back end to lift, okay? And just punch, just relax, okay? If you're doing everything right, then you should be able to do this with no problems, okay? Switch your feet, okay? Just like this. Always relying on the structure to do the work, okay? Practicing your footwork, inside triangle, right? Okay? Also get in, get out, get in, get out. Sorry. Get in, get out. Okay? And also practice with your opponent moving. John can come in at me, that means I have to step back. Okay? He goes forward, I move in. Right? Yeah, he goes away, I just keep following him. Try to always maintain my structure. Right? No matter where he goes. Right? Alright, then get in. But it's my body doing everything. Okay, so that's why I said practice. That's why I said I love the deadlift movement. Because it teaches you. It reinforces this movement. Relying on your body to do the work instead of your hands. Any questions?
No. Thanks for having me, bud.
Sorry. Sorry, Don. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good Halloween. Have a good holiday. Have a safe holiday. And myself, John, Walter on camera today. And oh, there he is.
That'd be me right here, servicing you all in the internet.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.